Good morning, my friends. How are you today? So, today I want to talk about your future. And I know we spend a lot of time in our present and talking about how we can enjoy our precious present and living for the moment and making today, like not waiting to the future to start loving your life. So, we talk about that a lot, the present. But today I want to talk about the future. And I was just listening to a video from Peter Attia, who wrote Longevity, no, what the heck's the name of his name? Outlive. And that was my favorite book of last year. I gave probably about 20 of them out to people because I just found it so impactful. And what he talked about in there essentially was your health span and your lifespan, right? So we want to increase our lifespan, but don't we want to make that life healthy and well, and we really want to increase our health span so we're healthier. So I really loved the book, and I can't say enough nice things about it. It's a little dry reading, and that when we were talking about the 75 hard, where you have to do the 10 pages of nonfiction a day, that's a great book to do. Anyway, so in listening to this video, and it's another program he has, which is like discussions with his patients, essentially. He brought up the term backcasting instead of forecasting your future, right? And the example he had was this healthy young guy saying, I'm kind of healthy, and I kind of see myself, climbing Mount whatever when I'm 60 years old. So so they talked about what you need to do today in order to have that happen then, right? So you need to backcast. In saying that you're healthy enough today to do something doesn't mean that you can sustain it. We naturally lose bone loss and muscle loss and all these kind of things that happen with aging, right? So what he said instead was, and you get this term from a poker player, a female poker player. I don't know her name. I tried to find it, but I couldn't to attribute it to her. But it's called backcasting, and that means if I want to be climbing mountains at 70, then what do I need to do now to get myself to be in that state that I will be at 70? And so he talked about, if you're carrying a backpack of 40 pounds, now you should be carrying a backpack of 60 pounds so that you can, increase and enhance that muscle mass, and et cetera, et cetera. So I started thinking about, how does this impact us as real estate professionals? And I want to like talk a little bit for 1 second about, my profession. And we just had our holiday party, and 4 years ago I partnered with Patricia Mercado, and she has been running essentially Bold Real Estate. And so I kind of backcasted where I wanted to be spending my days and how I wanted to be spending them, and realizing that management is not one of my biggest qualities at all. So I backcasted, what do I need to do 5 years ago in order to 10 years from now be where, have things in place the way I want them to be. So, we think about this a lot with our retirement, right? How much do you have to be saving? And so in my profession and in your profession, so what do you need to be doing today? So think about where you want to be when you want to be there, right? When are you gonna, like, let's just use 75 or 65 as your number and say, what do you want your life to look like? Where's your money coming from? What are you going to be doing with your time? How fit and well do you need to be at that time to be there? And say, okay, so then what do I need to then back, back, backcast, backtrack to what you have, what your days should look like now. Okay. And what do we need to be doing now to be able to do that then? So many of you know, I say that I want to be able to do splits at 100 years old. I can do splits right now. And so I call myself like a one-trick pony. So if I want to be able to be doing splits at the age of 100, what do I have to do now with my body and my nimbility and my mobility and my strength and my flexibility and my balance? What do I need to be doing now? Because Lordy, 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 I don't want to be able to do a split but not be able to get up, right? So anyway, time to backcast. So for your profession, what does that look like? If you want to have a steady stream of referrals being your base, which I did in my backcasting, I want to work with my referrals and my friends, is all right. So I want that for who I'm with and what I'm doing. So 10 years ago, I had to cultivate a great referral base and stay in touch with the people that I had worked with. So if that's what you think that you're going to want, then now is the time to really establish those relationships in your backcasting that will be enduring, lifelong relationships. It's funny, I am working with a friend on a house, and she sent me, and we just like, we're in the thick of it. My open houses are tomorrow with her. And she sent me a testimonial for me yesterday, and just talked about, what it's been like working with me. And I laugh because our first open house is tomorrow. She has no idea what it's going to be like working with me when we get twists and turns. But we established by backcasting, we established that bond of trust and confidence in one another, and so forth. So anyway, that's my little thought for you today. Backcast. Give yourself, for my young watchers, right? Think about, you can even use 60 as your late one, right? But I am 61, so that's not going to work for me. And then what needs to be put in place today? As far as your physical, do you need to be stronger? Do you need to be more flexible? Do you need to balance better? Do you need to, do you have to have better mobility, right? It's because you're going to need all those things if you're going to be climbing a mountain. All right. And then for your profession, what critical pieces of the puzzle need to be addressed today? All right, my friends, I will see you. It's Friday, so I will see you on Monday, unless you come to my open houses. It's on 15 Holly Lane, Mattapoisett, the next 2 days, 11 to 1. I would love to see you there. Make it an amazing day and weekend.